Hello friends, welcome to KGS IAS English YouTube channel and I am Shubham Sharma, your economy faculty. Friends, today we will discuss chapter number 14, Evaluation of the AI Ecosystem in India, the way forward. If we talk about this chapter hold importance, reason being AI is so much in news and this AI has changed the employment dynamics whole over the world. So, what changes happen in the world? Initially, we will discuss that, and then we will discuss what is the impact on India because of AI. Where, on one hand, it changes a little bit of employment dynamics. On another hand, it also create a lot of opportunities, and it need a new reskilling approach for the Indians. So, let's start the chapter. First of all, the chapter begin by examine how AI is reshaping the global economic system and how India must respond strategically within this rapidly changing technological environment. So पहली बात तो ये है how India must respond strategically. भारत सबसे पहले कैसे respond करेगा with rapid change in technological environment. The survey make it clear from the beginning that AI is not merely another technological innovation. Instead, AI is presented as a structural economic transformation with long-term implication. AI is having long-term implication. Where it have long-term implication? In labor market, in productivity, in geopolitics, governance, infrastructure, education, strategic autonomy, and national competitiveness. So the impact of AI is seen in all of these sectors, and whatever the economic transformation is happening, it is happening in all of these areas. So the survey repeatedly stressed that India must not blindly intimate AI development model followed by advanced economies, because all the advanced economies have different economic structure. Some of them are almost most of them are following the capitalism model. Okay, India is following a mixed model. So as a result of that, their economic position, their people's per capita income, their dominance of the specific sector, so India should not exactly copy that how they are following the AI system. Rather, India should create their own system according to the nature of employment and according to the economic activities happen in our country. Okay, now, frontier AI development. This is the first important topic, and if there is any question come from this particular chapter, frontier AI development had a huge possibility that a question can be asked from this. So, frontier AI development today is becoming extremely capital intensive, compute intensive, energy intensive, and infrastructure intensive. So, first of all, you should know what is this frontier AI development means. So frontier AI development talk about these four factor: extremely capital intensive, that means it required lots of fund; compute intensive, that it required the good supercomputing technologies; then energy intensive, it required lots of energy as well; and infrastructure, it required latest modern upgraded infrastructure. So only a handful of firms globally currently possess the financial resources, advanced chip, data center infrastructure, political influence, technical talent to build frontier scale AI model. So only a handful of firms globally currently possess the latest financial resources, the advanced chip, the new data center infrastructure, political influence, technical talent. So the chapter therefore argue India's AI strategy must emerge from India's own economic reality rather than technological imitation. That's what I'm saying, that whatever these frontier AI development, whether it is capital intensive things, energy intensive, all these things are being possessed by the developed countries better with modern day infrastructure. So their financial resources, advanced chip, data center infrastructure, they are different. So India cannot simply imitate these things, that okay, they are following this thing, so let's follow back in India also these same things. We are having a different set of system. So that's what frontier AI development should be taken in that parallels, that how the country is actually having these resources. Then AI in India's economic context. The chapter explained that when Economic Survey discussed AI in 24-25, the global discourse around AI was still dominated by expectation, predictions, possibilities, speculation. Now, at that time, the focus was mainly on preparedness, skilling, infrastructure, and institutional readiness. If we talk about that, AI part was also there in economic survey of 2024-25. At that time, people are trying to gauge like how the AI is, expectations from AI, prediction like how it will go in future, then possibilities, what are the possible things it will impact or it will give the positive aspects, then lastly is speculation. So it's not a completely developed segment where the people perceive the results that what they are achieving. It's just a kind of thing where people start speculating, okay, this may happen and that will happen. So AI at that time focused mainly on preparedness, skilling, infrastructure, and institutional readiness. But now AI is no longer speculative. Instead, firms are actively adopting AI. They are experimenting with deployment. AI tools are integrated into workflow, and AI applications are spreading across sector. So now, in these last 2 years, if we talk about, in last 2 years, AI is now becoming a wholesale part of the work culture. It should not be treated as a separate thing. It should be integrated. It is now integrated with the current economic practices. So firms are actively adopting AI. Organizations are experimenting it. AI tools are integrated with workforce, and AI applications are spreading across the sectors. Now, global AI adoption by firms. In 2022, around 50%, 23 55%, 24 72%, and 25 88%. So AI usage, if we talk about by income groups, high income countries adoption is 58.4%, upper middle income countries 22.5%, lower middle income countries 18.7%. So AI diffusion is now global, but AI adoption and AI capability are not the same thing. You are adopting the AI, but the current practices that you are adopting with AI and the capability you possess, they are not the same thing. So in India, AI usage may be different. In advanced economies, AI usage is different. So even if we say AI usage by income groups, that means high income countries usage of AI is totally different if we compare it with the lower middle income countries. Now, concentration of AI power. AI power is concentrated only with usually with a small number of firms who are having the advanced chip, the better compute infrastructure, massive data, energy intensive data, high end engineering talent. So AI access is diffusing, but AI power remain concentrated. So everyone is using AI. We are using AI, you people are also using AI, but our usage is different from those who are actually having these advanced chip, compute infrastructure, massive data set. The chapter repeatedly stressed that this concentration create market power asymmetries. There are a lot of asymmetries in that. It also create technological dependence, supply chain vulnerability happen, and strategic risk also occur. So this concentration affect the standards, pricing, cultural influence, and technological directions also. Then AI and labor. Now this is the most important part, and I hope that you all are waiting for this part only. What is the impact of AI on labor segment? So the survey explained that early fear about massive immediate job destruction have not yet fully materialized. Several studies found that limited immediate labor disruption. Remember, this is very important line. The disruption in labor part because of AI is not like immediately that the market has exploded or market has wiped out everything. It's not like that. Minor difference between high AI exposure and low AI exposure occupation. So it's a very less difference between high AI exposure and low AI exposure occupation. Evidence of labor augmentation rather than mass replacement. Now this is again very important. There is not like mass replacement that crores of jobs are now wiped out. It's not like that. It is evidence of labor augmentation is more rather than labor mass replacement. So this is especially relevant for labor abundant economies like India. As AI system become more efficient, labor intensity may gradually decline. firms may require few workers per unit of output. This is what we are saying कि it's not like that कि mass scale unemployment हो गया, but labor intensity is now gradually declined. Firms require few labors per unit. Automation pressure may intensify later. So survey therefore describe AI labor dynamics as a quite structural drift rather than sudden collapse. This can be asked directly as a mains question by asking this line: what a quite structural drift rather than sudden collapse. This is what in context of AI. Now, the quiet drift theory of AI disruption. Technological disruption may not occur suddenly. Instead, labor intensity may slowly decline over time. Firms may progressively automate the task. Organizational restructuring may gradually reduce labor demand elasticity. Changes come not as a sudden explosion but as a slow drift. So, this is just a very basic things like what all happen because of AI disruption. Now, AI and India's IT sector. This is again very important. AI and India's IT sector. India's comparative advantage came from low cost skilled labor. इंडिया का जो कंपैरेटिव एडवांटेज है वो सबसे बड़ा है कि वी हैव लो कॉस्ट स्किल्ड लेबर. Now, if you have low cost skilled labor, what are the things what we need to know? However, AI system increase automatic coding, AI automate the documentation, AI automate customer support, AI automate low value IT service. This threaten India's traditional back office role. Now, a prelims question can be asked because of AI, the back office role of India is now get disrupted. This is true because these are documentation, customer support, lower value IT services. These all are repetitive kind of things. That's why they had impacted. These get impacted because of AI. The chapter therefore argues India IT sector must move up the value chain. So what is the future? Future lies in how you are deploying the AI, how you integrate the AI, how the AI productization happen, and how AI enabled services happen. So sector specific AI solutions can be done, and AI become both a threat and an opportunity. So threat for those things which are repetitive kind of aspects, and opportunities where you are developing the new ideas, new skills, or integration of AI deployment things. Then in that case it will create new opportunities. Now, frontier model versus application led AI. Frontier model, as I mentioned, it required massive compute, advanced chip, high capital energy infrastructure, export control over advanced processor. So services trying to replicate frontier scale AI ecosystem may be fiscally unsustainable for India. That's what it is. This is the best aspect of this year's economic survey. It clearly mentioned in which of the sector India is working absolutely amazingly, in which of the sectors India is actually struggling, in which of the following things that India should be cautious, and it also talk about that these things are not right now. India have the capability to actually do that. This is what we are saying. The survey is saying that India should not focus a lot on frontier model development because right now we are not able to do that. We will gradually and slowly move to this frontier model act, frontier model things. But currently we should focus on domain specific AI, sectoral AI system, and application layer innovation. Now, scale versus inclusion. This create incentive for firms to automate the task, reduce labor dependence, scale AI, and it is significant especially in white collar service sector. However, for India, rapid uncalibrated AI adoption create employment risk. That's what important. So rapidly without thinking, if you are adopting this AI processes, it create employment risk also. So India face a difficult trade-off. Rapid AI diffusion may improve productivity, but it may also weaken employment absorption. So guys, this is a kind of dilemmatic situation. On one hand, we want to achieve the development status by 2047, so we need to adopt the modern day practices so that we can scale up the things. But on the other hand, Still majority of our workforce are from those sectors which are which require less skill and which are more of low paying jobs. So if we adopt AI in general, then obviously economic growth can boost, but it will lead to more of unemployment also in the segment. So that's what scale versus inclusion problem. Now, open versus proprietary model. Open sources, the service criticize proprietary model because they are opaque, closed, difficult to audit, vendor locking, and dependent on foreign firms. So, open source and open weight model, this is what we are talking about. Low entry barriers, that means it should give an opportunity so to everyone to scale. Adaptability according to the current scenarios, collaboration with different organizations, reduce the dependence. However, open system also required coordination, standard, and governance. So when we are talking about open sources versus proprietary AI system, all these open versus proprietary model also depend on how you are actually adopting the things. So this proprietary model focus is not accepted, or what we can say, in general not need to be followed, because it is opaque, closed, difficult to audit, vendor locking, and it is depending a lot on foreign firms. Whereas when we talk about the open source, they are low entry barrier, adaptable, collaboration, and it reduces the overall dependence. Now, compute intensity versus resource constraints. Again, AI data center required massive electricity, huge water sources, high cooling infrastructure, and stable grid. So the survey highlights shocking example. Now, guys, this is very important. AI data center can consume 20 lakh liters of water per day. One AI infused data center may consume energy equivalent to rocket launches daily. See, so when we are saying that these things are positive, but guys, remember, positive things also brings lot of negatives with them. So this creates serious concerns for India because power is still remain constrained, water stress is already there, and grid stability is fragile. So survey says that India should focus on smaller models, distributive compute, and task specific AI system rather than blindly copying hyperscale AI infrastructure model. Then, regulation versus innovation. The survey explained another classic trade off. Excessive regulation can suppress innovation. Obviously, when we are saying that anything, any new technology come, it also brings lot of challenges. So earlier we have this tendency to protect our people first, to save from the new technologies our economy. So if you are making so much of regulation, or if you are creating so much of regulation, it increases the compliance cost, it increases audit cost, reporting burdens. But India's fragmented AI ecosystem may struggle because AI increasingly affect healthcare, finance, education, and governance. So India required light touch, phased, risk weighted regulation. That means regulation लगाइए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन रेगुलेशन को लगाने के साथ साथ में ये देखिए कितने किस सेक्टर में और कौन से पर्टिकुलर चीज जगहों पे रेगुलेशन की जरूरत है और कौन से में नहीं. Then, strategic autonomy versus global integration. AI is increasingly become a geostrategic asset. Chapter say export control, chip restriction, technology weaponization, and supply chain vulnerability. The survey compare AI with critical mineral and semiconductors. That's what we are saying. Again, frontier things, all are these things like we required huge compute, high energy, high infra, clean water. So they are almost, AI is almost comparable with critical mineral and semiconductor. The chapter explained technological dependence can constrain future diplomatic choices. So India must carefully balance strategic autonomy with global integration. Now, global data center concentration. 73% of data centers are located in high income country. 73% जो डेटा है वो कहां पर लोकेटेड है, हाई इनकम कंट्रीज में. तो you yourself understand this thing, that if we are saying almost 2/3 of the big data centers are there in high income countries, India account only 3%. So how much huge difference is there? So this highlight extreme infrastructure concentration. The survey used to reinforce India cannot compete purely through hyperscaled infrastructure race. Survey explained that AI development fundamentally depend on AI का जो development है वो fundamentally किन चीजों पे dependent है? GPU, data center, energy system, financing, hardware supply chain, and grid infrastructure. The purpose is to identify structural vulnerability. Where are the vulnerabilities are there? Coordination failure, try to solve those failures. Supply chain bottleneck need to be addressed, and infrastructure constraints. The survey says that AI development, AI का जो development है वो कौन कौन सी चीजों के ऊपर dependent है? It depend on GPU, it depend on data center, energy system, financing. So the purpose is to identify the vulnerability, coordination failure need to be addressed, then supply chain bottleneck and infrastructure constraints need to solve. So the real challenge is financing, hardware access, energy stability, global chip supply dependence. So we need to figure out how to overcome from these challenges. This is global data center concentration. Okay. Now, why GPU supply is a major strategic problem? This is just to know that if we talk about the component-wide problems also, na, try to figure out where the actual problem lie in component segments also. So GPU supply is a major problem because GPU supply is globally concentrated. Several critical constraints identified. First, high bandwidth memory chips are in shortage, storage bottleneck, export control, rising global demand, geopolitical dependence. So these are the basic things when we say why GPU supply is a major strategic problem. Storage problem is there, export control issue, rising global demand, geopolitical dependence. Even if India has financing and demand, GPU shortage can still halt AI expansion, which create external dependence risk. So the first stimulation assume data center demand grew at 24% annually. Par tariff remain flexible. Borrowing cost is 9%. So GPU supply remain under normal condition. So again, why the this GPU supply, when GPU supply is globally concentrated, there are other issues also like storage bottleneck, export control, rising global demand, geopolitical dependence. All these create the major hurdles. Now, India's bottom-up approach to AI development. This is what we are saying that India is following those approaches which is according to their needs. So India follow bottom-up approach to AI development, top-down frontier model. This is what we are saying. This is generally followed by those countries who are having the modern infrastructure and that infrastructure which is required for the overall capacity development in AI. So the US hyperscale firms adopt frontier AI labs, massive capital, good infrastructure, frontier model obsession, and concentrated intellectual property. Whereas the bottom up, this is what India is following, is sector specific AI, distributed innovation, state coordination, application layer focus, and we have smaller models. Now, AI research talent, this is again, you can write in the positive aspects. India ranked among top global contributors to AI research. We have the top global contributors in AI research. We have the very large technical workforce. We also possess large engineering talent pool, AI literate workforce. So survey says India ranks second only to US in AI literacy. This is we should try to capitalize, because if we have more of skilled labor and that too highly equipped with the latest AI things, it will have a positive impact also. So one of the India's greatest advantages, large and diverse domestic data set. Potential sector include health, agri, finance, education, and public administration. Now, why should India adopt frontier model? Because we have limited compute access, capital constraint, infrastructure limitation, energy limitation, GPU dependence. So India should focus on application specific AI, sectoral AI, and small efficient models. Now, what is the advantage of having small models as for India? Because they require low compute, low energy use, easier fine tuning, smartphone compatibility, dependence on higher hardware dependence is not there. wider accessibility, which allow more startups, universities, and public agencies to have participation in AI development. Now, compute versus a development strategy. So small module reduce dependence on hyperscale. Obviously, when you are having more of small compute sectoral development, then obviously you require lower energy stress, lower water consumption, lower capital expenditure. So the better deployment in sensitive sectors. Now, friends, this is the most important aspect of this chapter. If any question come in mains, this is the topic which can be 100% being I'll not say 100%, but we can say if any question come in mains, this is one of the sector from where they can ask the question. Very, very important sector. So AI in different sector. First, AI in healthcare. AI thermal imaging for breast cancer screening, portable oral cancer screening device. These systems reduce dependence on specialists and with lower cost, and also expand the access in low resource region. The survey emphasized AI can democratize healthcare access. AI in water management. In cities like Bengaluru, AI system monitor water consumption, detect leakage in real time. This demonstrate AI solving infrastructure and environmental problem. AI in disaster management. In Himalayan region, AI enabled sensor system which provide landslide alert, which strengthen disaster preparedness, risk management, and ecological resilience. AI in agriculture, it improved the market access for 1.8 million farmers across 12 states. So it benefits better price discovery, logistic efficiency, and market connectivity. So this is what we can say. In education, municipal AI analytics are being used to monitor learning outcomes, identify the gaps, and improve the accountability. So the chapter cites pilots in Pimpri Chinchwad School observe higher engagement, better teacher accountability, and improved supervisory monitoring. Then AI Bhashini and AI for Bharat. The survey highlights Bhashini and AI for Bharat, voice first AI, language AI, inclusion oriented AI, where the interaction is in native language with low cost device accessibility. So the chapter strongly argues India's AI model must be multilingual and inclusive. Now, open source AI ecosystem. What is this open source AI ecosystem? The survey strongly support open source and open way AI model because they are talking about shared innovation. That means innovation can be shared with low barrier, reduce low foreign dependence, and with fast experimentation. So the chapter says open models are rapidly closing the performance gap with closed model. Now, India itself is considered as a global open source power because of India's AI mission is favoring collaborative talent, also possess large software community, and we are the world's fastest growing open source developer community. We have the function like shared code, collaborative improvement, better experimentation, high transparency, and security system also. Now, India's IT sector from back office to front office. The chapter strongly says India must move up the AI value chain. Instead of low cost, we should focus on indigenous AI application, AI product, AI enabled solution, and sectoral innovation. So the sovereign supported AI infrastructure should focus on shared compute, shared repository, public coordination, and community curated code based. The sovereignty act as a coordinator, enabler, and monetary shareholder. So if I will give you a general summary regarding what we had discussed till date, first of all, we should not focus a lot on frontier models because it is costly, required lot of energy, required lot of modern infrastructure, required lot of water as well. India should focus on sectoral wise AI development. Then apart from that, we also have the largest skill pool of AI, so we should try to capitalize it. Then India should focus more on this part. This is what we can say, open source part. And one more aspect, that is this part, small models. This is very important because they require less energy, they require lower compute and also have lower hardware dependency. Moving ahead, Then, human capital in the age of AI. The survey repeatedly argued that while India may not immediately dominate frontier chip, hyperscale compute, and capital intensive AI lab, India have a major advantage. कहाँ पे है we have advantage? In human talent, software capability, with developing better ecosystem, applied innovation, and digital adaptability. So we should have a good edge over these factors with latest human talent, better software capability, good ecosystem, applied innovation, and digital adaptability. The survey explained that technological revolution historically rewards societies that adapt education system better. They have flexible labor market, they have encouraged experimentation, and they invest in human skills. So India's AI talent ecosystem chapter says India already have world's largest STEM workforce, large engineering output. We have expanding AI participation and strong open sources community. So what we need to do, we just need to integrate all things together. The rapid diffusion of AI to large software workforce, stronger digital adoption with better interdisciplinary capability. So the problem solving is we should try to focus more on critical thinking, creativity, human judgment, and lastly, domain expertise. So AI is also changing the nature of skills. Survey says that AI will which jobs are the most vulnerable? Those are repetitive, predictable, pattern recognition. So however, AI is still struggling with where AI is struggling, where ethical judgment should be taken, empathetical things, creativity, strategic ambiguity, social interaction, and context sensitive reasoning. Now, experienced economy and human value. As AI automate routine production and information processing, economic value may increasingly shift towards human interaction, better authenticity, good creativity, personalization, and emotional engagement. So, all these things are required in health, education, hospitality, counseling, creative industries. So, कहीं ना कहीं आप ये देखो ना कि जहां पर इन ह्यूमन इंटरेक्शन, ऑथेंटिकेशन, क्रिएटिविटी, पर्सनलाइजेशन की बात आएगी, these sectors require more of human touch, and if those things require more of human touch, they require more what I can say, like care economy. In Japan, care economy is in huge demand. So if people are providing the good care, the good personal human touch to the to the elderly people, then there is a huge demand for these kinds of work. Even in India, after next 20 years, this demand will increase. So we are not saying that AI will come and destroy the whole world. It's not like that. AI will create problem only for those segments which are kind of repetitive things. So if you are engaged in those things which are having the good learning things, more of thinking pattern, changing the style of treating anything, so these things will still have a massive scope. So human advantage, AI systems are fundamentally predictive, statistical engines, and pattern processors. But human possess moral reasoning, consciousness, empathy, social intelligence, creativity. So human value may actually rise in an AI saturated economy. Surveys suggest that professionals involving trust, emotional engagement, and creativity and social interpretation have good results. So earn and learn model, what is that? The survey strongly criticized the disconnect between educational institution and labor market reality. This is what is a most important thing in whole economic survey. Learning only those things which give you a degree is not suffice in the present world. In the present world, if you don't have that much of good percentage, but if you have the good knowledge of what is going in the world, what is the demand, what kind of work is in demand, then also you can sustain and earn well. So they are saying traditional education system often prioritize degree, exam, theoretical learning, while AI economies increasingly reward applied capability, adaptability, practical exposure, and continuous learning. So the chapter argues that India must similarly strengthen the apprenticeship, industrial partnership, work integrated learning. So education system therefore become dynamic, flexible, and industry responsive. So educational reform, it led to better critical thinking, digital literacy, improved creativity, interdisciplinary capability, problem solving. So ethical reasoning is most important rather than rote memorization. So foundational learning remain essential because AI tools will improve the human capability. Weak foundational education limitation create the problem. So literacy, numeracy, language skill, analytical ability, all are the important thing. Now, what is risk of AI in education? The chapter cites concern that excessive reliance on AI. Now, friends, this is also most important aspect. If you rely a lot on AI, like suppose I had asked this thing many times to the students as well, that how you are using the AI tool. Sir, if we have any doubt in the concept, we ask it through AI. Sometimes we ask AI how to write the answer of this question. Now, if you continuously doing that, that means you become yourself dependent on AI. AI should be used to help you, to assist you. It should not be try to control your mind. Okay, dependence on AI should be for those things which you personally feel will reduce the time, and which will reduce the time and also give you the better outcomes. But AI should not be used in such a manner where you are actually trying to read anything and you are just following the shortcuts. AI is not for shortcuts, friends. Okay, so excessive reliance on AI may weaken independent thinking, memory retention, problem solving ability, which is described as cognitive atrophy. Now, this can be asked, what is cognitive atrophy? So, survey warns that if student outsource too much intellectual efforts to AI, deep learning may weaken, analytical capability may decline, creativity may suffer. So, AI must supplement learning. This is what it should supplement learning, not replace thinking. Now, AI governance, too much regulation. If you are putting too much of regulation, too much of restrictions on AI, then also it will suppress innovation, increase the compliance cost, favor large incumbents, and discourage startups. So, however, absence of regulation, अगर regulation बिल्कुल भी नहीं होगा तो privacy risk, biasness, manipulation, safety failure, misinformation is may arise. So, India require risk-based proportional regulation. Then this is AI Economic Council. AI should be there for industry, education, labor market, national security, energy system, trade policy. So AI governance cannot remain fragmented. AI cannot be remain fragmented. The proposed council, this AI council will coordinate the strategy, monitor AI adoption, assess labor impact, recommend the regulation, and align sectoral policies. Then data governance and localization. AI system depend a lot on training, good local data set, domain specific information. So India should strengthen their data governance, data accessibility, privacy system, and public data infrastructure. So with more of localization, it will improve sovereignty, security, and domestic innovation also. Let's discuss some of the questions related to this. Consider the following statement regarding AI and labor market. AI adoption may increase output while simultaneously reducing labor intensity in certain sectors. This is true. Studies discussed in the economic survey suggest that AI related labor disruption may initially appear as a gradual weakening of employment responsiveness rather than sudden mass unemployment. This is true. The economic survey argues that labor abundant economies like India should completely avoid AI adoption. No, we should gradually try to adopt AI. So 1 and 2 are correct. 2 explains 1, 3 is wrong. Only one of the statement 2 and 3 is correct, and one of them explains statement 1. So C is the right answer. Agent based modeling used to analyze bottleneck in AI compute expansion. True. Experience economy, economic value increasingly shifting toward authentic human interaction and creativity. AI Economic Council, proposed body for regulating global semiconductor. No, this is not for semiconductor, this is for AI. So only 2 is the right answer. The economic survey support development of small and sector specific AI models suited to India's resource condition. Frontier AI development requires significant compute infrastructure, advanced chip, and high energy consumption. The survey recommended India should prioritize hyperscale frontier AI competition. No, we should focus more on small sector. We should not prioritize hyperscale right now. So 1 and 2 only is the correct answer. The economic survey argues that India's comparative advantage lie more in application layer AI innovation than in capital intensive. This is true. Then, open source AI ecosystem reduce dependence on proprietary foreign system and lower barrier to innovation. AI system may increase productivity in sector. This is true. This is true. Through low cost. The survey recommend unrestricted expansion of hyperscale AI data center. No, this is the problem for India. So fourth is wrong. Question asked about incorrect. Fourth only is the right answer. So friends, this is in this particular chapter. I hope you get a good insight like what is the most important things in this particular chapter. Because AI is so much in news, that's why this chapter can have a lot of importance in the exam. That's it from my side. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Take care.